You're what up, YouTube? It's your boy Wabi. This is the Politically Correct Show, and today I'm gonna talk about helping the less fortunate. Because it's very unfortunate that it's hard to do so. It's very hard to help people who are in more need than yourself. Like the reason why I made this video is because I was thinking about you know, the community like I always do, thinking about what I can do to improve it, what we can do to improve it, mindset wise, moral wise, business wise. And then I got to thinking about the ACE Center. If nobody knows, the ACE Center is a, what do you call it, residential treatment center, like a place where homeless people during the day can go inside in the morning, go get themselves something to eat. Well, not even homeless, like, you don't have to be homeless to be there. Like, you can be, just not good off, maybe, you don't have, like, me personally, I got paid and stuff, and, I got a job, blah, 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 but I never had help from the government, so I've only had food stamps once, and I never went to the aid center when I had food stamps. But I only had like food stamps once, and that's like the only thing governmental that I've ever been able to accomplish to receive. Because by the time I signed for some government assistance, I done already got another job. Now it's like, why do I have government assistance when I know that once I have this job, because basically my whole adult life, except for last year, I've had I've been basically single, with no kids. So it's like, I when I get a job, it's like I'm not gonna get nothing, unless except for them food stamps. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna get nothing. It was thank God that I even got those, and I got that just because I told the lady I was homeless. You know what I'm saying? So a single guy like me ain't gonna get no government assistance. So, I used to go to the ACE Center whenever I got hungry and stuff, and I didn't have no food or whatever, and it helped me out a lot, you know, when I was beginning my stages of being a young adult, trying to learn how to navigate myself. And the ACE Center helped me out a bunch of times. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I heard that the ACE Center got taken away, and I was just like, so who's helping the homeless? So who's helping the less fortunate? You know what I'm saying? There's a few programs out there, but it's nothing like a convenient spot where you can sit down with some Wi-Fi and eat something and then go on with your day. No matter if you're a true homeless person who just don't do nothing, or you're just in the situation, you try and get out the situation as quick as possible. There's nothing more convenient than a place like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll be honest with you. I don't like seeing homeless people just sitting around on the street and stuff, because say I'm driving around, you know what I'm saying, and it always goes back to my daughter, but say I'm driving around and my daughter wants to look out the window. I don't want her to be seeing a homeless person begging for money on the street. That's kind of not the setting I want my daughter to see every time she will look out the window. So I just feel like a place like the A Center was just convenient for damn near everybody in the town. You know what I'm saying? And I was just wondering, like, why did something like that get taken away? And I always chalked it up to it being maybe they just don't have enough funding. But it doesn't really cost that much to, run an A Center. To run a center, I mean, it costs a lot, don't get me wrong. But when you count in donations and all that stuff, for a regular, like, nonprofit, it's probably, a more cheaper thing. You need a shelter, which their shelter wasn't too big. You needed a kitchen with that shelter, which it probably should already have that. And then you need a lot of donations. I mean, if you don't got a lot of donations, then it's going to cost a lot of money. But I'm just saying, like, it shouldn't be too hard for the city to start it up. You know what I'm saying? It's not too much for the city. So I didn't think it was funding. And then I looked it up this morning, and it's just basically it's just hard to help people out. You know, there's a lot of rules that I wasn't thinking about when I was on this journey of making sure that everyone's good and stuff. I wasn't thinking about all the. I know how hard it is, obviously, but I wasn't thinking about all the rules and the regulations too. Like, there's a lot of things that are stopping us from doing. Like, I can't just go out there and just help somebody because that's illegal. And that's where we're gonna go on to this next stage of the conversation. Is not just the A Center got stopped, but the whole world gets stopped. Like, you know, I was watching on the news. I don't know if all the facts are all the facts because I only heard the news cycle like one time because I just caught it. But it was like, if I believe this was true, a principal had gotten in trouble for letting a homeless student sleep in the school for a night. And apparently he's going to get like fired or probably even arrested and stuff. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, if I see a kid cold, you know, and mode, you know what I'm saying, on the street, and obviously their parents aren't taking them inside or nothing, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to ask where your parents are. I'm going to get with your parents. I'm going to see, because, you know, I'm a principal. You know, I'm not just some weirdo random on the street. I'm a principal. Like, I see this kid every day. You know, I even probably talk to your parents. You know, if I don't talk to your parents, then obviously I know that your parents don't give a fuck. So it's like, what are you going to do? You gonna leave them on the street? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, being a principal, being a teacher, you having that love for a student, you know, it's like, you can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, Miss Cannon, my favorite teacher, and I'm pretty sure if I was in that predicament at that time, she wasn't gonna sit there and let me be in the elements as a kid. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna do something about it. If anything, she probably just call DFS or something and get me situated. But my point is, she would have done something about it. So, could he have just called DFS and got it over with? Yeah, maybe. But, you know, I'm not going to punish somebody for doing the right thing, a.k.a. saving a kid's life. If anything, he should have just got, like, suspended or something. But it is what it is. I'm not faculty, so I can't really make that call. You can understand why he got fired, though. But then you got stuff like Teddy Bridgewater, somebody who saw a couple kids on his football team, because he was coaching high school football at the time, straight after him retiring from NFL football. He saw these kids didn't have much, don't have much, so he gave them food, gave them, you know, things for, you know, clothes and shoes and stuff, you know, gave them things to not just enjoy life, but to even navigate life. You know, like, once you need to give, when you sit there and you see your players and they're hungry, and they little kids, you know what I'm saying? It comes to a point where you gotta feed them, right? You know, you're not gonna let them starve. But even him, he got fired. And granted, he got fired, and now they have the law over where he coaches. But that doesn't stop the whole world. That just, you know, that just stops them from doing it to coaches. What about principals? teachers, uh, you know, even people like me, not even relatives, just people who see the community and just want to help. It's just they're really trying to make it hard on people to do so. And that's the type of fight that we need to fight. Like, Damian Darling, you see all these pranksters, they don't really get kicked out or nothing, but Damian Darling's kicked out, and he gives the people, like, it's very hard to make a change. It's very hard because of the capitalism of the world, but that's exactly what we're fighting to this day, and we're going to keep fighting the fight no matter how hard we get beat up. It's I'm 25. I've had this vision since I was like 12 and we still on the stage one of it all. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm 80 years old and I'm still on the first stage, that's what it be. I'm gonna keep fighting this fight till we die, basically, because stuff like this is crazy. Because it's like capitalism. Okay, cool, fine, get it. Somebody has to be on top. You know what I'm saying? But when you're trying to stop other people from helping people, that's where I cross the line. So you already know what it is. God bless you. God bless First State. God bless America. It's your boy Wabi. And we out.